Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. And in this video, we will be discussing about types of robot. So we already seen different categories of robots in our previous videos, but this video is exclusively discussing different categories of robots in detail. Okay, so let's dive into it. So the first category that I have put in my slide is humanoid robots. I don't think you need an introduction for the humanoids, right? Like it's very popular, and you can see a lot of companies are working on humanoids nowadays. And what is a humanoid robot? The humanoid robot, like it's resemble and mimic the human body in structure and the movement. Okay, it can interact naturally with humans and operate in environment made for people. Okay, and this humanoid robot equipped with advanced sensors. Okay, and then it can talk, and it can walk. Okay, and it can even express the emotions. So there are multiple companies working on humanoids. There is Tesla, Unitary, Figure, Boston Dynamics. These are some of the companies who are working on the humanoids. Okay, so now let's look at the next type of robots. So the next category of robots that I have put it in my slide is industrial robots. So you might be heard about industrial robots. It's very popular. These robots are the robots that is deploying in manufacturing and assembly lines. These robots are doing many tasks, including welding, painting, and packaging of a machine. Okay. In case of a car assembly, all these robots are actually handling the production. It can able to do the welding, it can do the grinding, painting, everything. So there are multiple companies actually creating industrial robots. So companies like Kuka, Fanuc, ABB. So these are some of the companies who are working on the industrial robots. And one of the feature or characteristics of these industrial robots are these robots are very precise. You can simply imagine, right? Like the robot is doing welding, and these kind of welding needs millimeter level accuracy. Okay, it's not an easy task actually. So these robots are very precise, and it is mainly using for high precision tasks. Okay, obviously these robots are very expensive and mostly seen in the manufacturing and assembly lines. Okay, jump into the next, which is social robots. So these robots are one of my personal favorite because I have done my undergrad and master's projects in social robots. I have built two social robots. First one was like an entertainment purpose, and second one was for autistic children for improving their communication. So by the way, the social robots are kind of robots which is designed for natural interaction. Okay, natural human interaction. So these robots can interact with you. Okay, and these robots can interact, express emotions, and these robots comes with multiple sensors. It is having cameras, microphones, and using computer vision, these robots detect the face, movements, everything. Okay, and even some social robots comes with touch sensors as well. Okay, so mainly for the human interaction. That is what the social robot, from the word itself you got an understanding, right? It is social basically with the humans. In the image you can find some examples of social robot. So the social robot, the main purpose is obviously the communication. Jump into the next one, which is medical robots. Very important, and you might have heard about these medical robots which is using in hospitals for minimally invasive procedures. So these robots are like can able to do the surgery, okay, without the need of a human on site. So imagine the doctor is in one country, the patient is on another country. There is an option for teleoperating these robots, and the doctor can do the surgery using this robot by sitting on another country. Okay, this robot comes with different sensors, then actuators, and mostly these robots are manipulators. Okay, robotic arms. You can find in the image it all having multiple robotic arms, which is having these needles. Okay, and all these robots are very precise, and that should be there, right? The precision, because it should deliver the precision like the industrial robots. Okay, so that precise these robots are, and obviously it's very expensive. One of the popular medical robot is Da Vinci. I hope you heard about it. Jump into the next, which is service robot. So from the word itself you can understand service robots mainly for assisting humans. Okay, so for personal or professional environment, and the main purpose is like hospitals, then elderly assistance, food delivery inside the hotel. Okay, you can find it. And the next category is cobots. Okay, it's again an important category, which is like one of the disadvantage of the industrial robots are it's not that safe when a human is working along with it. Okay, because these robots are not designed, this industrial robots are not designed for that kind of safety along working along with humans. But the cobots can do that. Cobots are again robotic arms, okay, which is designed for working along with humans. How is that possible? Cobot stands for collaborative robots. It's actually having some sensors for detecting humans, and if there is any collision it will automatically stop and it will not harm the um, human operator. Okay, it can do the repetitive task, it can collaborate with humans, okay, safely, and then human can do some other work, robot can do this repetitive task. Okay, one of the popular robot series, cobots robot series is Universal Robots. They do have multiple robot series, and there are many companies working on cobots, okay, which can be deployed in workspaces that can work along with humans. Okay, so now space robots, again, no need of an introduction. We have seen Mars exploration, right? Using the rovers. Mostly these rovers are remotely controlled from the space station in from the Earth, or some robots are autonomous or semi-autonomous. Okay, and the main purpose of space robots are like a human. If we place an astronaut for exploring this um, planets, it is actually risky. We don't know what will happen if a human land on Mars or something. So we put robots which can save a life, or we don't need to risk a life, right? So that's the main purpose. Okay, again, the main purpose of robots are like replacing human from these dangerous, repetitive, mundane tasks, right? So space robot is very nice application, and the space robots are like there can be rovers which can move on the surface, then there are robotic arms, and next comes to educational robots. We are using these robots for learning different concepts in robotics. Robotics is not an easy domain. There are multiple concepts that we have to learn by doing hands on. So these robots are basically for that. We purchase this robot, do some experiments, and learn this concept. So there are different categories of education robot. There are like very cheap or expensive based on the budget of the university or the student. They can purchase it. Okay. So in this image, you can find some two-wheeled robot, a humanoid, a miniature humanoid robot, a pick and place robot, and a social robot. Yes, so students can interact with it and learn these concepts. So jump into the next. So I have just put the description for some category, and there are categories actually continuing. So I just put one robot and the category. Okay, and I will explain it. So agriculture robots, we don't need an introduction. There are, I mean, robots using in the agriculture fields mainly for replacing humans. Nowadays, there are lack of farmers, and robots are actually coming as a farmer. Okay, not only as a farmer, it can do multiple tasks in the fields. So cropping, I mean, there are multiple things that can be done using a robot. Now come to the rescue robots. So mainly targeting for rescuing people, maybe in a situation like earthquake, landslide. So these kind of robots can move through crevices and then find people from it. Okay, so the rescue robots, a very important type. Then drones, we are already know, right? It's actually very important category for surveillance, and then autonomous food delivery. Yeah, there are many applications actually. Military robots specifically for military purposes. Okay. Then exoskeleton will give you an extra robotic suit for assisting people who is having problem with their movement, mobility. It can improve the mobility basically. Now comes to the warehouse robot, which is extensively using in warehouse for transporting objects from A to B. Okay, there are many robots that is deployed in warehouse. Especially one of the example is Amazon. In Amazon warehouse, we can see multiple robots are working together for transporting the object from A to B. Then the consumer robot, this is one great example, the Roomba vacuum cleaner. I hope you are familiar with this robot vacuum cleaner, which can move around and autonomously can clean the floor. So that is one example for the consumer robots. Then the underwater robots, underwater drones, mainly helping for surveillance, like inspecting the dam if there is any leakage in the dam, or if there is any crack on the walls, something like that. So it's very useful. Underwater drones are also getting popular. Then research robots, specifically for doing research and learning. It's not meant for production. It's mainly for learning and experimenting with different robotics concept. And you can see the entertainment robots mainly for entertaining people. And it is having many audience, I will say. Robotics, dance, maybe using humanoids. So it's very popular actually. People are very keen to see the robot movements, dancing, everything. So it's again another big area. So these are the types of robot that I have included in this slide. And basically, I did a research using ChatGPT and Google, and I put all these lists into one slide. Okay. So I hope you got an idea about these different classification of robots. I mean, there are many classification. Okay. So there are many kinds of robots, by the way. So hope you got understanding about different types of robots. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video.